Hi and welcome back to my solo playthrough of Bonfire. Thanks so much for all of your comments, and the most, let's say, interesting discussion was around the theme of this game. Don't let me lie to you guys, I really cannot dive into the theme here. I mean, everything looks beautiful, it's very nice to look at, but in respect to the theme, it floats for me adjacent to games like Aquasphere or underwater cities or Hong Kong Blackout or Blackout Hong Kong. I really cannot dig it. I mean, I know there are folks out there who either do not care about this theme of a game or really like this game. I do not actually particularly, but again, this doesn't really keep me from liking the game after all. I mean, there is a little backstory to these whole things. So if you really want to dive into that, yes, you can definitely do so. But yeah, I think I will not go through those. I mean, why are the bonfires no longer lit? It began a few months ago when the bonfires atop the towers of the nearby cities darkened. So basically, that's our idea. We want to relight those bonfires, and that's what we are going to do in this playthrough, playing against Automaton. And yeah, I think with that being said, I think we can really dive back into the game. Again, really do appreciate all your comments. I believe rules-wise, there weren't a lot of goofs. I think points-wise, yeah, not really worth mentioning it. We are currently in the lead with 2 points versus 1. But again, majority of those points are scored at the end of the game. Unfortunately, I didn't really get a lot of feedback in respect to my decisions here when I was taking those fatals. So I think I will live with my decision right now. I think overall, I'm still feeling okay anyway, so we can basically sail around a little bit, we can get some more offering or a new bonfire tile, which is definitely helpful, and on top of this we can also go for yet another path. So I think overall we are quite okay in respect to all of our actions we are going to take. It is our turn, so I guess we are going to use the sailing action right off the bat. So we are spending 2 of those travel tiles. We are moving 1 space, 2 spaces down here. I think that's a good idea. Let's go for it, because there is another very easy task tile here waiting for us, which we already have fulfilled, and that is having an offering tile on an island with that resource. So again, we can claim this right away, which is usually not a bad thing. The problem is, I think I have to spend both of my gold pieces, but I'm fine with that actually. So we are triggering the offering action. We have to spend 1 fruit. We are going with 1 gold, and we have to go for either these herbs or the shells. Again, we have neither of those, so we are going with another piece of gold. Really expensive actually, but again, this allows us to grab this tile here. I will place it on my board in a second. Which one did we use? Doesn't really matter too much either actually, so I guess we might want to go with this. Yeah, let's place this one here onto this island. Let's reveal the next one here. Maybe it's this star one. No, it's another root. Okay, I have to live with that. And then we have to make a call on where to place this tile. Unfortunately, it's another blue one, but again, the blue ones are the easy ones anyway, so I shouldn't be surprised actually. Again, yeah, we know for a fact we may not get this either, so I think let's keep on placing these tiles here more towards the end actually, or maybe we should even consider doing this here, because here we have at least already some portals, because we get portals. We get 2 points for every portal that's next to a bonfire, but this needs to be an activated bonfire. So I think I should have also placed this tile here, for example, but I will not take this back either. But this was my action. Really long talk actually for a very easy action. But yeah, let's move back to Tom. Let's reveal his next AI card. Okay, he's going for another path tile. We have to flip over. So he's taking all the shells tiles. This is only 1 actually, but maybe I really shouldn't act that surprised. I mean, there are 6 different resources, I believe. So yeah, it's not uncommon. You see, I mean, we have 4 different resources shown here right now. So he will simply go for the shell. We are placing it next to his player board. We are revealing new one. Let it be a blue one. Let it be a blue one. And no, it's another red one. Huh, that's an interesting one. We have 3 red ones now showing, and there is also a rule: if all of those show basically the same color, I can basically wipe those. But right now it doesn't help me either. But that was already Tom's action, so it's back to us, and we are down to only 1 action token here, which means we can take this fate action again. And right now I really don't fancy any of those paths yet. On the other hand, maybe we should take another path simply to get more tiles out there, but I was really hoping for the right one. But on the other hand, I need to start filling from left to right anyway. So let's say a blue one would have come up, I wouldn't be allowed to place it here because I have to start here. So maybe I should look into that. But again, on the other hand, it also, no one is taking this away from me right now. So I don't really care about those other bonfires now, or are the other path tiles. So I guess we maybe really should go for another fate tile now. And again, I get to choose if I want the bottom one or the top one here. And this gives me a card and a bonfire, and could also give me an offering, and this one too. But I think I really want to go for the bonfire next. I could go for another golden resource because I don't get... Yeah, I think let's go for it because we really want to have another bonfire now. So let's puzzle this in here, and of course the idea is to place it next to this one, but I could also place it next to this one. I cannot do this, so it's either this or that actually, and I think placing it here might still open up some possibilities. On the other hand, placing it here would... No, we cannot go over this anyway, but we could also go for the extra action tile up here. But again, having resources is also great. Oh, that's tough. And we didn't have a single guardian action coming up. I think this is also limiting us, right? Quite significant. So I think, yeah, let's place it like this. So we do get one of those wildcard action tokens, which is definitely nice. So then we place it here. We get 2 of those bonfire tokens. I think that's definitely not bad at all. We get a card, so we can maybe get another gnome. Let's see about that. And we get an offering action here too. And with that, I think we are well prepared for the next couple of rounds. Okay, I think I kind of like this. Back to Tom. He will reveal his next card. Okay, he's grabbing the next portal tile, and he's currently looking for this symbol here, so the roundish one, which means we have to rotate the bonfire quite a bit actually. 1, 2, 3 spaces, because that's the next one. Yeah, that's the right symbol. So he's grabbing this and we'll place it in here accordingly. Right now they are not next to bonfires, so no harm was done, but there are other things to be done, and he will complete this. If I'm not ending the game, which is again very unlikely, he will definitely complete all those portal tiles, and then he could claim one of those common tasks from the High Council. Okay, back to us. And I guess we do want to fulfill, or basically activate, this bonfire. We can complete this task because we have met the condition here, having an offering tile on an island that shows this symbol. Nicely done. So we are flipping this to the other side, giving us 2 points plus 2 points for this portal here. Very nice. That's really cool. We will send one of these guys now to the High Council, but because we send a novice to the High Council, we get the bonus from our specialist, which is another golden resource. Really cool. And this is what I like about this game, setting up those combos that don't work every time for me, but every now and then I'm quite successful. Okay, where to place this gnome now, or this novice? And I believe we want to place him here. Yeah, let's do that. So we get this golden resource here, which is called a resource, the golden action, and we get 2 pieces of gold. Keep in mind, we can never go there again with our blue novices, but we can send those neutral novices still there. So that's still allowed. So I think that's okay for this bonus. I think that was pretty okay, actually. I like that. Tom is next. Let's see what he's doing. Okay, he's going for another guardian. Again, it doesn't matter which one. He will simply go for the gray one. And again, the only reason why Tom is collecting those guardians is because of those common tasks here. So if he collects his 5th guardian, he will score 4 points at the end of the game, and he will take this novice away from us. This will bring him one more point. Again, that's not the end of the world, but really getting those extra common novices into the High Council for the bonuses is really, really key in this game. What's next? I think we may want to go for a gnome on a specialist on our own. In order to do that, we need to spend 1 or 2 of those tokens here. And right now, I think I will go for 2 tokens, so 1 wild card and the card one, because the normal price that you have to pay for a card, keep in mind the first one I got because I sent this novice into the High Council, but normally you either spend 2 of those action tiles and 1 resource that the specialist is showing, and I really want to go for this one here, or you spend 1 resource, 1 tile, and 2 resources this guy is showing. And I think right now I want to hold on to my resources. So I will spend 2 of those action tiles and will spend, yeah, of course, unfortunately, yet another golden resource. And we will totally go for this gnome here, who is pretty cool, but he might come a little bit late, I think, because he allows you to pay 2 any resources when you're claiming a task tile. And so instead of looking at your offering tiles and at the island, you can spend any 2 resources. He is extremely powerful. I had him during my last playthrough and was really big. So I got him very early, and this way I was really able getting pretty much any of those tiles, offering tiles I needed, or task tiles. Okay, let's go for him anyway. We will put him next to our player board. Let's not try to forget him. We will refill here accordingly. And basically we are getting those resources double with her. She's also extremely powerful, but we have used this ability twice already, so I'm not sure if she's that important anymore. Again, most likely you want to get those gnomes early because they really help you defining your, let's say, strategy to some extent. But that was quite okay. Let's move back to Tom here, and again we have to flip a card, and that's the root one, and now he takes the highest scoring one from the islands that's showing the root, which is actually pretty bad news. So he will go for the 7 or 7 points. I don't really have a chance fulfilling this one here, so I think I might want to go for him. It's also very unlikely I'm getting this one, but at least again I have to make a call. I get to choose if there is a tie. So let's simply go for this one. We are placing it here accordingly. So overall, with task tiles alone, he already has 15 points, which is really quite something. So let's get rid of this, and yeah, back to us. And quite honestly, I'm not doing particularly well fulfilling those common tasks. I'm really doing not well, because usually you really should focus on some of those. I don't know, getting those portals early, because if you have 7 of those, you get to score 4 points and get to place the novice. Same is true for those gnomes here. Getting those, all 6 of those, will also score you a lot of basically points, and you will be allowed to place a novice into the High Council. Already getting those task tiles here onto the board, I mean, that's also very crucial. So right now I'm doing a little bit of everything, but yeah, I think I don't know. Let's see about that. And yeah, what am I going to do next now? I cannot go for the action here because I have a hell of a lot of action tokens left, but we have just fulfilled this task here because we have a specialist or the elder. Wait, no, we don't have the elder that shows this resource here. So we have completed this, and maybe that's what we should do next. Actually, will score me 3 points, and yet again we can place another novice into the High Council. Maybe let's do that. So yeah, we will flip this one here. That's another 3 points, but compared to Tom, we have 7 points. He has twice as many points as we do right now, and we are only in the lead with 1 point. So overall, it's not looking particularly good. So let's place our gnome accordingly. I think we want to place our novice into the High Council here, and this space allows us to grab any one guardian from anywhere from the board. Of course, it needs to be a guardian we don't already have. Yeah, let's go for this cyan one here. We will place it onto our player board, and the reason I'm doing this is because there is another tasty task tile right next to us right now, and this one requires you to have this guardian and that guardian. So we can claim this tile, and then we can still go later on for this guardian here. So I think overall this might turn out to be okay, and it's 4 points, so it's a little bit better than the standard 2 or 3 pointers. And again, we can place another novice into the High Council, so I think this might turn out to be okay too. And yeah, that was already our action again. So let's see what Tom is doing. And again, we have to flip one. And that's basically this flowery one, which means he takes 2. Oh, come on, you must be kidding me. Because now he can directly go for 2 of those specialists. And again, they don't do him anything particularly good, but of course if he gets 6 of those, he will then also be able to score one of those novices here again for another 4 points. So we have to be a little bit careful, but let's see what other things are coming up. Okay, here's another one. Oh yeah, that's these are all cool, actually, really cool. Question is, again, I need to focus. I really need to start focusing. So let's see about that. And then I guess we want to secure this task tile here, right? Because he could still go there, and if it really goes crazy, some bad things could happen. Because yeah, in fact, he could really go for it. So if he reveals this action where he is claiming those task tiles and the symbol is showing this flower, he will definitely go for this one. And I want this because, again, I planned for it. So yeah, I have to. Yeah, I think I have to. So I'm going to spend one of those wildcards to move back here. Then we are spending this action to claim this task tile. Because I have this gnome now, I really do not care which tiles to go for. Problem is, I have exactly those resources. So I will spend this flower here for this, and for basically my offering tiles, I have to go for gold anyway. So again, didn't really help me this time, but still, I'm quite happy with that. So we are claiming this one. And by the way, if I would have already one of those offering tiles on this island, I would also have to spend more of those action tiles in order to claim them. But because here the neutral player Tom took it, I really do not have to care about this. So we will claim this. I will place it also in a second. And I have to check, again, it doesn't matter right now, because again, of this gnome, we can basically place anything on those islands now, which is pretty cool. Let's get rid of those. Let's place the task tile, and as there is a high probability we can go for basically red pathway here, and we want a red path next to a red bonfire. I think let's place this thing here. Okay, that's cool, I take it. Let's see what comes up next. Okay, we have to reveal another card, and now he's going. Okay, we were lucky. So he's basically doing the same thing, but going for the lowest scoring task tile. And he will go for this island, or one of those islands. And here it's quite simple, because it's either this or that. He will go for this 2-pointer here. So we will grab it. We'll place it here onto his player board. And oh wow, he's also scoring some points. Again, this matches this one here. Okay, but he's not matching here. But we are not done yet, because this action also tells him to place one of his novices into the High Council. Again, it doesn't matter where. So let's simply place him here onto the next spot, and this means he will score an immediate point for that. Okay. My next action will be quite simple, actually. We will simply go for one of those paths here. And do I really care which one to go for? Maybe looking at the specialists? Maybe. Yeah, why not? Let's go for this one here. We need a red one. That's the only thing that's obvious. So let's replenish right away. Oh, that's a blue one. Oh, nice. I want this too. I really want this blue one too. Oh, hopefully he's not taking this away from me. But let's place it here. And right now it's in theory a match, but we have to complete or activate this bonfire here first. And then again, those are adjacent, and this means we will basically score an additional 2 points later on if the color does match. Okay, at least here we are doing kind of a, let's say, solid job. But yeah, let's move back to Tom. Let's see. Okay, he's taking more paths actually, and now he's going for the roots. Here's only one rootish one. So we will grab it, we will place it here next to his player board. Yeah, there was only one. So let's simply replenish. It was really, well, I think I was lucky that he was not taking away the blue one from me, because this didn't show a route. And okay, that's another red one. I take it. For some reason, I was kind of hoping he would move this bonfire one space further, but I think he wouldn't have done this anyway. So I think maybe it was the better deal. So I have to spend now 2 of my bonfire action tiles, 1 and 2, because I really want to go here. First of all, I need this portal. Keep in mind, I can only take the portals that I can place next. So I will simply place it next to my player board. And I guess, there is still this blue action, and this is really tasty because it could give us the blue one we need. Yeah, let's simply go for it. So we will, for our second reward, we'll grab us this action tile here, and then immediately moving back to Tom. And again, usually this game is moving really quickly. There was a good question coming from Paul, who I so much appreciate all his comments, all his funny remarks on my channel. Really, really great. If this game is really AP prone or whatever, and I think it's not. Again, I played it a couple of times and I never really experienced some sort of downtime or so. It's really moving relatively quickly. I'm not saying it can't. There are players who might really also misuse this for analysis paralysis, but I haven't encountered this, so I think it's really moving along very quickly, and I think we know what this is exactly. Now we will see the next portal, and we are looking for this one up here. Not sure if you can see that, but in this case he will simply move forward 1 step. He will grab this tile. We are placing it next to his player board. This now also means he's scoring 2 points for this portal, because this portal is now next to an activated bonfire. We will reshuffle his cards. I will do that in a second. And I think, should I move on or not? Yeah, let's continue to play a little bit more at least, because at least for my next action, I totally know what I'm going to do. So I'm spending my task or my pathway action tile in order to grab this blue pathway here. I'm going to place it next. Again, we have to fill those from left to right and the portals from right to left, but again, this now is adjacent to this bonfire, has the same color, so that's also 2 points for me at the end of the game. It's his 3rd playthrough through the deck. Keep in mind, he will end the game prematurely when he has moved through his deck basically 4 times. Again, we have to reveal the next goblin. He will take this resource here, and I have forgotten to refill, but there is at least 1 pathway he can take, which is this one up here, but let's see about that. No, he will simply go for this one. We will refill accordingly. This time I will not forget, and here's another blue one, which I don't need right now at least, but yeah, maybe sooner or later I have to do that. That was his action already. I'm out of action tiles again, and I have to make a call in respect to those fate tiles, but they all suck. They really suck. I mean, I can use them all to some extent, but they're really not great. I want 2 ships, but taking this tile here could give me 2 ships, but the rest sucks. Really doesn't help me at all. Unless I'm spending, maybe I should be wasteful a little bit. No, let's go for it. I think that's still okay. Now let's claim this tile, and we will place it here. I think so. I need at least 2 of those ship tokens, right? And the rest really, I mean, maybe I should place it here, because then I would at least also get 2 of those. Yeah, maybe that's the better deal. Let's place it down here. So we get 3 of those ship tokens. I mean, that's not terrible at all. And that's what this game is about, optimizing your fate tiles so that you get enough action space. So we get 2 of those offering tiles. I may not need that many, but let's see about that. But again, we can always expend 2 or any of those 2 action tiles to replace them, basically use them as a wild card. And we get 1 of those card tokens here too. Again, getting some more actions. Okay, I may not 100% like it, but I will take it anyway. So let's move in here. Okay, he's claiming, okay, he's moving the bonfire, and he needs the rectangle one here next. Yeah, so he will move this 1-2 space. That's kind of a bummer. I was really hoping I could get here and get this wild card. Nah, that was really a bump, but he will claim this portal. He will place it here. It's now next to a bonfire. So this really brings him a lot of points, actually, because again, he will score 7 points plus 2 points plus 2 more points. 11 points for this bonfire here alone. Oof, that certainly hurts. Okay, let's continue to move our ship. So we are going to spend 2 of those ship tiles, sailing tiles. Oh, no, 1 we were here, right? And 2. We want to go to this island here, claiming this. Yeah, that's the right one, claiming this guardian here. So we can take the extra action that's still allowed. Again, when you sail, you can always take the free an additional action like claiming a task tile or getting a guardian. I don't have the right tiles, but I think that's not too bad. So I think I'm going to spend this, and I think I do that again actually. I will spend those 2 again. I'm allowed to do that. It's a little bit wasteful, but I think let's do it anyway. So we will grab the guardian and we will place her here onto our starting space. And for whatever reason, I was not able to move those guardians at all. Normally, when you take, this action here, you are basically allowed to move all of your guardians 1 step ahead. If you're spending more, you can move them further. On the starting tile, you can have as many guardians as you like, of course up to 5, because you cannot have duplicates. But on the others, you can only have then 1 each. There are also specialists who allow you to bypass that rule, but we don't have those, or this specialist here. When I end my movement here, for example, I can claim the resource, for example, or if I move here again, this resource, only the space where I'm landing on. Alternatively, I could let the guardian move through a portal, but the portal needs to be there, and then if the guardian is there, she will then give us the amount of victory points that are printed next to this bonfire. This can be up to 8 points towards the end of our action board here, but let's get this one back. But for whatever reason, I wasn't really able getting those guardian actions. I really didn't want to spend my wildcard actions on those. Might really come back to haunt me, but for now I'm living with that. Back to Tom. So let's see. Okay, we have to reveal another specialist. He will get the next next path tile showing this herb resource here, and this time we were lucky because none of those path tiles shows the resource that's printed on this specialist, and he's not getting any compensation for that. There is an exception to the rule. I think he's scoring 3 points when he can no longer take the common action or something like that, but in respect to actions, if he cannot take those, sorry, then yeah, basically his action is lost and gone, and I will certainly take that. Back to us, and again I have to do something very wasteful. That's usually not, but right now I think that's okay. So we will spend 2 of those to initiate a bonfire, great bonfire action, to move it here. We want this portal. We can place it next to our bonfire here, so we could in theory move. Yeah, I think that's not bad. I think that's really not bad. But first of all, this is a portal next to a bonfire worth 2 points. This one matches here, that's another 2 points plus the 3 points here, so that's at least 7 points. So not really terrible at all, but we still get a second reward actually, and we might want to go for this action tile here. Yeah, why not? Let's do that. Let's grab her and place it onto our action board accordingly. So in theory, we could already take the fatal action, but I think let's not do that. Okay, I think we can still use this action later on. We still can take 2 more actions actually. I think that's pretty okay. So we are revealing his next card. He's going for specialists like crazy. He's getting all the root specialists, which is only this one here actually. So let's try to speed things up. And in the meantime, I had to reshuffle the deck. Okay, we are bringing out a new one here. Ooh. And this one is pretty cool because he allows you to pay any 2 resources or 1 or 2 resources when going for a specialist action. Okay, that's pretty nice too. Okay, nicely done, nicely done. We are basically discarding this. Not sure if I should have shuffled it into the deck, but again, I'm not really caring too much about this. We will activate the bonfire here. We have the two guardians, so this one here, the sign one, and the nature wooden one. So we have those. This will score us 4 points plus 2 points because of the adjacent path that's matching. We can place the novice here. That's actually already the 6th novice we are placing into the High Council. Wow, that's interesting. And I believe I want to place the novice here because he allows us to move any one of our guardians up to many spaces as we want. So finally I can show you how this is done. Doesn't really matter which guardian I'm going for. I think I will go for my one. Again, I could move her here, enter here and take the gold resource, but I think because we have the portal here and we have the bonfire here, we are now allowed to move her here down to this bonfire. And this will score us 5 additional points at the end of the game. Really nothing to sneeze at. Okay, that was pretty okay too. But again, the next novice we are placing into the High Council, doesn't matter which color, will trigger the end of the game already. In a 1 or 2 player game, that's 7. Okay, let's see what Tom will do. Okay, he will simply grab another of those guardians. Doesn't really matter. He will go for the pink one. Yeah, why not? He will go for a pink one, but nothing else will happen. So I still have some time, which is good because I still have some plans. And I think I forgot to get my reward here from the specialist at least once or twice. Once for sure. Maybe I even missed this a second time. I will try to leave a comment during editing, but I could be that I really would be at 2 more or 1 more gold here. Again, apologies if I messed this one up. Now again, I have to make a very, very weird call, but I think I will go for it anyway. So I will pass or basically go for the action. I can do that now. Originally I was planning to go here or use this guardian, but I think let's not do that yet because I think I might be able to do better. So I will place this here. First of all, this will grant me a wild card. We will get 4 of those ship tokens. That's insane, and I will most likely use majority of those as kind of wild cards too, but let's see about that. We get 2 cards. I think overall this at least seems to be working out okay. And we get 1 more guardian action. Okay, I take that. Problem is, not sure if I will be able to spend all those tiles. They can still score us some points. Again, any combination of 3, I believe, between resources and or action tiles is still worth a point. But yeah, let's see about that. Okay, next action. Okay, he will go. Oh yes, he's ending the game. He is ending the game. So he will go for the lowest scoring one now. That's interesting. That's really interesting. On either of those 2 fruit islands, which is this or that. No, he will go for this one here. In fact, so he will claim it. He will place it here accordingly. He will score 3 points. It's not the matching one, but it's still next to a portal. But what's more important, he will send 1 more of his dudes into the High Council. Again, doesn't matter where he's placing this. He will simply score an additional point for this. Again, going to the lead. Again, he has triggered the end of the game now, which means we are grabbing this stack of countdown tiles here. So they're going all the way from 5 down to 1. And as we are the starting player, we will basically use them. Send it to the next player. Once the last player in the round has taken the action, the tile is removed, and then we basically see that. And when the 1 tile is removed, this was then basically the last action. So this will be the 5 last rounds of the game. Pretty sure he will not make, or he might not make it through his deck. I guess not, because I think those are 9 cards if I'm not mistaken. So we really have to play this out well. I really have to play this out well now. And there is a slight chance we might make it to this tile here. On the other hand, we could also go for one of those elders, but I think we can do the elder action anyway still. Yeah, I think maybe let's spend 2 of those shipping action, 1 and 2, to make it to this island here. And then we could claim another one of those. Question is, do I really want to do that? Because I'm running out of resources. But okay, that's still in order, I believe. I think that's okay. So what are we going to spend now? We are not moving again, I believe, with the ship. I think that ship has sailed. So we are spending those 2 tiles to basically trigger the offer action up there. And again, the plan is to go for this tile. We might be able to get this. So we have to spend any 2 resources because of our specialist. Doesn't matter because the only resources we have is gold anyway. So we can claim this tile here. We will place it onto the player board in a second. We have to place one of those offer tiles. This action has been taken care of. Again, I have to make a choice where to place this task tile, and I think let's place it here because there is a chance we could go for another blue pathway tile later on. Later on is good because again, this was basically our 1 out of 5 final actions. So that's already the end. We are moving this now over to Tom, still taking his action as normal. He will go for, that's bad. He will go for another port. There are 2 of those in the deck here anyway. So, but he will go there. We'll move the bonfire over here actually because he needs this one. We are placing onto his player board again, scoring him a lot of points actually. And then again, this tile is pretty much removed from the game. Back to us. And we have to do a rather lame action, I believe. So let's simply, it's tough now. I think no. We will spend our wildcard here to move this bonfire here. We will definitely go for this portal because that's the next one we need. This will score us 2 more points, and we will, I think, go for another gold resource here, wildcard. We need that, and I will explain you with my next turn why. But first of all, let's place the portal tile in here. We are taking the next countdown tile, moving it over to Tom. I don't know, don't have to shuffle the cards yet. There is still 1 more card left, and yeah, he will, wow, it's insane. He will go to the highest scoring tile on the root islands here. One of those 2. Here is nothing left. Where is the other root island? Root island. Am I blind? Where is the other root island? There are always 2 of those. Aren't there not? Here. Okay. Was really hoping, but yeah, it's another 7-pointer. Okay, he will grab it. And that's a pretty nasty one, scoring him 7 points for the tile alone, 2 points because it's next to a portal, and 2 points because it's next to a matching pathway. Ugh, that's insane. But at least it was not his last one. If he takes this action 1 more, he basically will also score a common tile here, and that would be really bad. I believe next it's time to claim one of those elders. They work exactly the same way like the specialists, at least in respect to pricing. So we either have to spend 2 of those tokens, which I'm doing, and then the resource that's matching. Again, I don't really care about this because the only resource I have is gold, and I have to score those immediately. And I believe I will simply go for, I have 5 of those tasks right now, so I will go for this one here. Because he gives me 1 point for each bonfire and or task I currently have on my player board. And again, because that's 5, I will score an immediate 5 points, moving us up to 7. Again, that's really not bad at all. Back to Tom. So we basically hand him over this countdown tile with the 3. I have to reshuffle those cards, so I will do that very quickly here, and then I will do that properly now off camera. So let's see about that. Okay, he will go for, he will do that again. Again, the highest scoring one. Are you kidding me? Oh, that's so bad. And it's the fruity one, and I think fruit is still, yeah, there's plenty out. Okay, maybe not plenty, but enough. This has already been exhausted, so he will go for this one. That's only quote-unquote 4 points. I mean, I take it. But the real problem is he basically now completed his 7th bonfire. Basically right off the bat, 4 points here. It's next to a portal. That's 2 more points. And on top of this, has completed this task here, which means he will take this guy again. We will put him anywhere. For him it's simply a point, but he's taking this away, but he will score those 7 points at the end of the game. Because again, normally you get 4 points if you have at least 7 tasks on your player board, but if you really manage to have 7 bonfires, activated bonfires, this will score you 7 points. This is really quite a lot, so I'm pretty sure I'm not standing a chance against Tom. And I believe I was not paying attention properly, because I think I will not be able to complete this one here, because I cannot take the action right now. I really should have spent those instead of the wildcard, but again, I'm not taking this back. I didn't really count this through, because again, I have 2 more actions. So in theory, I could now spend those 2, and then with my next action, I could claim one of those action tiles, but I don't really know if that's worth it actually. And maybe I should now either go for a bonfire action, but I think this doesn't help me either actually. But I'm also not going to give up one my thing. So I have 2 more actions, and I think none of those will be worth anything. Yeah, this is lame. This is so lame, guys. I really didn't count this through. If he would have waited for another turn or so until before he ended the game, I would be in a perfect condition now. And I have 1 too many of those, because otherwise I could now basically claim this tile, then I could finish this one here, and this would really score me 5 more points now. So you must be kidding me. So that was really bad. Terribly bad. And the problem is, I could even consider going for this next path. The problem is, the next path I need to place requires 2 of those pathway tokens, and again, I have 2, but they are the wrong ones. So whatever I'm doing, it doesn't work out. Again, I didn't count this through properly. Yeah, okay, it is what it is. So I will spend this Guardian token now to let this Guardian move 1 space in here. Again, we have stopped our movement here. In theory, I could move them both, but again, I can only have 1 of those on the same space. So this pretty much gives me 1 gold piece. This is gone. We are handing this one over. On the other hand, maybe, okay, wait a second. Let's reconsider that, because if we are not going to do that, we could simply pass and then we take those points, but then we are not taking any more actions in this game. But it's 2 more points actually. Oh, on the other hand, could we score more points? So let's say this is 1 point. It's only 1 point actually. Yeah, I think let's instead let's not spend this one. I think we shouldn't take this. We will pass, we will call it a game, which means we will score that many points that are left on this countdown tile, which in this case is a measly 2. I maybe should have counted this before, and then I really would have scored at least some more points, but yeah, I missed that. That's really totally on me. And that's pretty much the end of my game. Of course, Tom will still continue to take actions, at least 2 more of those. So let's go for this. He will, of course, he will grab the last remaining Guardian now, which means he has also completed this common task. I was really playing very poorly. Let's place it here. I think this is left from my action up here. And those elders are not getting replenished, by the way. He's scoring 1 point for that. And the reason why I'm laying those guys down now is really also a specific situation for the solo game, because I could still send a common novice here. I would still be allowed to do that. That's why I lay those down. But now it's the final turn of the game. And yeah, he's going for another path tile. Let's see what this is. Can be only 1. Yes, we have 1 of those. Of course, he will grab it. And I think, yeah, there is an additional bonus tile for that. That's his 7th one, which means he will also claim this reward tile here, which is kind of bad. Oh, why is this gone? No, I think this is wrong. This should be gone, right? This tile here, which will score me at an additional 4 points and 1 point for this novice here, and then that's the end of the game. So we will tally up the score, and even though this scoring card doesn't really tell you a lot, but it tells you everything you need. So first of all, you will tally up the points for the bonfires, for the guardians that are next to a bonfire, for the bonfires that are next to a portal, and so on. And I will do that maybe for me, just to walk you through. So we have, let's take the card, let's place it next to this one here. So that's 6, 9, 11 points from Bonfires. It's really not worth mentioning, but I will take it, bringing it up to 20. Then we get points for our Guardians that are next to Bonfires. We have one that's 5 more points, at least. That's something, that's truly something. Then we take Portals that are next to Bonfires. 1, 2. Oh wow, only 2, because 2, it's really 2. We missed this one here. 2. That's 4 more points for us. I will take those, bringing us to 29. Really ridiculous. Then we take 2 points for each things that are matching, and it's also only 2 times 2 in this case, so 4 more points, bringing us to 33. Then we take points for the High Council. I think we haven't scored any of those. We don't have 7 of those Bonfires or tasks. We don't have the 7 portals. We don't have the 7 pathways. We don't have 6 specialists. And I believe, or we don't have the Guardians either. So total waste. We are not going for those. We still get 3 points for each of those fatales which haven't been used. That's at least 9 points. I take those. So that's 42 points, still not great. And we get 1 point for each 2 of those matching combinations here, which in this case is 1 more point, bringing us to 43 points. I will now do the math for Tom pretty much off camera, because I'm sure he will win by far. And yes, as I suspected, I scored 43 points, he scored 68 points, which is usually a result which is okay. So again, when I'm playing this in multiplayer, I usually really make it definitely over the 50 points. So I was really not doing well, but the game was over, I believe, really 1 or 2 rounds too early, because otherwise I would really have been able to, I don't know, activate this one. This would have been at least 5 more points here, flipping this to the other side, maybe going for another path where you're scoring us another 2 points, or maybe even more than that. So I was really missing out on some of those opportunities, because he's really playing quickly, and maybe this is what I should have also considered, basically going for not so many of my specialists or novices into the High Council. And really what I was really doing incredibly ineffective were not really going after those common tasks. At least one or two of those I should have completed. I mean, I was not too far from this one here, for example, or maybe really going for those specialists or elders is really something that you should have done. But yeah, I really totally lost focus here, and yeah, this really paid out for Tom. Again, I like that he won. Again, I would have been very disappointed if I would have won with my very first solo experience here. There is a way to turn on the handicap mode, basically going for a challenge, basically, and this tells you the Tom starting position on the scoring track. And then basically, if your handicap is positive, Tom starts with the lead. If it's negative, you start in the lead. So this is really like a golf course. Basically, if you are basically going better than him, then he will start with some more points, and the other way around. Really like this a lot, actually, and sounds good. I didn't try that, but definitely a way of how to tweak the game. And of course, if you find it too easy, you can immediately tell him, okay, I don't know, you will score with 10 points more or whatnot. So overall, again, I quite like the AI here, the Automa, because yeah, it feels very streamlined, very easy to follow. There's nothing to interpret or whatever. You simply play Tom, and yeah, in the end he was quite successful, actually, but I guess that's more on me than on him, actually, in this case. But anyway, I really hope you enjoyed my little playthrough of Bonfire here. Paleo might be up next, and after Paleo I will definitely look into Hallertau, which I recently received and played already, and I really like it a lot. So really a lot of great games that came out as part of Spiel Digital this year. So it's Bonfire. Bonfire came out a little bit before Essen, actually, or for Spiel. But Paleo definitely was very nice. I also played a couple of rounds now already, more or less successfully, actually. Hallertau is really great. Again, a lot of real cool games that were published as part of Spiel Digital this year. A huge shout out to all of my patrons out there. Really do appreciate your support. If you want to support my channel, definitely you find a link, to my link site on my page on Patreon, or you can directly support me here on YouTube by joining my community. Like and subscribe, and really hope to see you soon in one of my other videos. And until then, bye bye.